The Kansas City Chiefs are no longer messing around with their running back room. The Chiefs are expected to sign running back Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl 60 MVP, as their next running back. Let's talk about it. Breaking News Team here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin with you guys in the new Breaking News Team Blazer. If you're listening to this after the fact, you guys got to go to the YouTube channel because new Breaking News Team Blazer is out and in full effect here as we are rocking and rolling early on in free agency, just not even 30 minutes into free agency. And we have a huge signing, as I mentioned at the top. The Chiefs are signing Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. No word on the years or the money yet. We're still waiting for that to come through. Appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you for all the super chats there. SC Warrior, thank you for the $10 super chat as well for the Blazer. Demon Brett Veach, what a goat. Some say he is a demon. Rodney, thank you for that super chat as well. Steven Steiner, need Tucker running at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. breaking news show. We might need to. As it is the phone is buzzing. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. It is a busy time here as the Chiefs are expected to sign. They're expected to sign Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker tweeting out a graphic from his social accounts. Mina Kimes tweet as well. Over the last 2 years, the Chiefs running backs have run for 10 plus yards less than 9% of the time. That's 31st among 32 teams. Last season, Kenneth Walker had third highest 10 plus yard rate of any running back. Very good signing for the Chiefs here. Again, as we are live here and we are waiting for the numbers to come out for Kenneth Walker to, as he is expected to be the next Kansas City Chiefs running back. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Yes, I love that everyone. I love the love for the new Breaking News Team Blazer. Thank you guys so much for hopping on with us, as we'll get some more people to trickle in here, I'm sure, on the Breaking News Team, as we got some big news. Got to turn all the lights red. Got to turn all the lights down. Turn the lights down, chat, because this is big news. Former Super Bowl champion. Well, the current Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. This is a legit move to bolster this offense. This is a legit move to signal, okay, we're done. We're done. Brett Veach is done messing around at running back. Went out and got a real weapon at running back for the team, for Patrick Mahomes, and try to appreciate Patrick Mahomes' time in Kansas City. Try to lengthen that time in Kansas City, especially with him coming off that ACL injury. It's going to be very exciting to see a running game come back to Kansas City, a dominant running game come back in Kansas City. The Chiefs already got the offensive line. They got the offensive line for it. They got the offensive line for the running game. They just needed a good running back. Patrick Mahomes tweeting out, "Let's go," with 2 muscle emojis on Kenneth Walker's graphic. Still haven't seen numbers coming out from the Kenneth Walker. I will let you guys know as soon as I see them. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll be keeping my eye on the chat as well. I'm glad that you guys love the Blazer. Shout out Claude. Shout out Hitman. Thank you guys for so much for watching and hanging out with me. Scott's bought Kenneth Walker fan club Mike Boom decal. We might need to get the Kenneth Walker club Walkman, with little Kenneth Walker in a little bit. Who knows? I mean, we still got plenty of time to come up with it. But huge move there for the Chiefs. It signals that they are ready to take the running game seriously. As there was also reports around there that Travis Kelce is expected to return for his 14th season. We saw a lot of that as well come out on Sunday. If you watch that football show, we put that football show out early because of this reason. Travis Kelce deciding to come back. It is going to be very okay. Thank you. Shout out to chat. Shout out to Paul, to Carol, to Shelby. 3 years, 45 million, 43.05 million is what we got in the chat for numbers for Kenneth Walker. Yep, looks like here we've got from Jordan Schultz. Chiefs deal with Kenneth Walker is 3 years, 43.05 million, and it could be worth up to 45 million. He gets 28.7 million in guarantees. So, as Ryan says here in the chat, 28.7 guaranteed, 2-year deal probably. I'm sure they do have an out after the second year, but this is a big investment into the running back position, and it is a sign that the Chiefs are not messing around anymore. They're not messing around. They just went out and got the Super Bowl MVP is now in their backfield. And Chris Jones is now tweeting about Travis Kelce returning as well. So Chris Jones might be a little late. Maybe Chris Jones has another tweet that he's still working on for the signing of Kenneth Walker. But very exciting for the numbers to come out of that deal there. As I mentioned, 3 years with 28 million in guarantees. 43 million worth up to 45 per Jordan Schultz on that deal. Let me know what you guys think about it in the chat. Let me know what you think. I know that they've got the probably 14-ish APY, right? Probably 14 million APY. Let me know how you feel about that signing. Let me know how you feel about it all together. Turbo says that football show needs some credit for this signing. I'm just saying, guys, anytime we drop a show, something happens. Something happens. So appreciate you guys joining us here. Appreciate all the love as well for the Breaking News Team Blazer, the new Blazer out on the show. Very excited. If you looked at the wish list I put out this morning on the That Football Show wish list, Matt Verderm and I ranked our top 5 players that we wanted on the team. Like we gave a wish list for who we wanted, and my number 1 was Kenneth Walker. This is a guy, as a football player, you love Kenneth Walker to watch him play football. There's some Le'Veon Bell comps. I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl, he ran a little bit like Le'Veon Bell with those patient runs. The Chiefs offensive line, Kingsley Suamataia out here tweeting about how he's excited to block for him now. So there's some palpable excitement with Kenneth Walker coming to Kansas City. I know there was a lot of desire about Travis Etienne coming to Kansas City as well at the price point. But you look at the deal that the Chiefs got, $28.7 million guaranteed. It's looking like, oh, wow, we got another. I think that the Rams are trying to create the Chiefs cornerback room in the aggregate because the Rams are signing Jaylen Watson. That's crazy. Nevertheless, let me finish my point on Kenneth Walker before we talk about the Jaylen Watson thing, because that's kind of crazy. On Kenneth Walker, you look at his number, about 14 million guaranteed. I think it's a little bit less than we all kind of anticipated for Walker. I like the signing. I did say on that football show I would have rather had Travis Etienne at his price point than Kenneth Walker at his price point. But I think that the price point they got Kenneth Walker at, I feel very good about. I feel very good about this deal as well. All right. I've got somebody in the waiting room for me. BJ Kissel, the boss man.
Let's go.
Kenneth Walker is a Kansas
We got a running back. Let's go.
A real one. This is like the first real running back the Chiefs have had since like Jamal Charles, right?
The Chiefs, we've been spoiled, not as a fan base before Patrick Mahomes, but when it comes to the running back position, Chiefs fans are pretty spoiled there for a while. We had a generational run like the Packers did at quarterback, at running back for a very long time. The Chiefs have always had an elite running back because Jamal Charles has never gotten enough credit from anyone outside of Seth Kaiser that he deserves. But Tuck, like we've been talking about running back. I didn't care who it was. The running back position, in my opinion, granted, Isaiah Pacheco is a fan favorite. Kareem Hunt gave us everything that he had. The running back position was holding the Chiefs' entire team back more so than I think a lot of people gave credit, and how much pressure it was putting on Mahomes to be perfect. You add in the other variables like a right tackle who was good when he wasn't false starting, but you're constantly playing behind the six sticks. It's constantly 2nd and 8. This is the move that Brett Veach had to make. He had to go do something at running back. Didn't have to be Kenneth Walker necessarily. They had to do something. And we've seen aggressive corrections when they identify an issue. Tuck, you've talked about that before. They've done it at offensive line, done it on the defensive side, that set up kind of the first wave of this Super Bowl run. But Jaylen Watson.
Yeah, it makes sense. The Rams needed cornerback help. Their cornerback room was lacking. They re-signed Cam Curl. They obviously make that huge blockbuster trade for Trent McDuffie that I think is actually really good for both teams. The more like I look at it, the more I think about it, I think it's a really good. Holy cow, the numbers just came out for Jaylen Watson. I don't think I'm going to knock the Chiefs for not signing Jaylen Watson here on this one.
What do you
3-year, $51 million deal for Jaylen Watson. $34 million of that is guaranteed. So 3 by 51 is what? That's 2, 21, 3, 7, 17 APY, 17 million APY ish. When it comes down to it, 3 for 51 is a lot of money with 31 million guaranteed.
Here's the deal, because we're figuring out this live. I'm not going to hate on the play. I love that Jaylen Watson got paid, and I don't think it's disrespectful to be like, I understand why the Chiefs didn't pay that. That's hard when you're talking about players, especially at this level. Like, love everything that he brought, but the Chiefs took a late round pick and then flipped it for a guy to just signed for $17 million a year. They're going to get something in return. That is the cost of being good.
Yeah.
Take a late round player, flip him for something better. That's why I sent the tweet out about Trent McDuffie. His career arc of what he did in Kansas City is perfect. He was a high draft pick. They moved up, outperformed his contract, champion, leader, got paid from his hometown team that's also very good, has a chance to go win. Jaylen Watson, go get paid.
Yeah. Shout out to Jaylen Watson. Shout out to Jaylen Watson.
They've done this at cornerback for a very long time, so not going to hate on that, but I would have been a lot more upset paying Jaylen Watson $17 million a year.
And now the Rams now have $134 million in cornerback guaranteed money tied up. That's a lot of guaranteed money to cornerbacks. But this is Les Snead is doing a Brett Veach overcorrection at a position. That's what he's doing right here, because he's like, all right, you know what? Let's just throw money at this position. Let's fix it. Let's get out of here. Let's not have to think about cornerback for a little bit. And they won't. I mean, they have the Chiefs quarterback room. Yeah, they got.
Dude, they got edge rushers. They've got dudes who they've got some young pieces. Like, this is when you make a run, you take a stab. It's not cookie cutter about how you compare it to other teams, because their situations are completely different. You put yourself in position to make a little run, and then you go all in.
Jalen Phillips to the Carolina Panthers, by the way. That's a lot of money for him too. 4-year, $120 million deal with the Carolina Panthers, $80 million in guarantees. So shout out to Jalen Phillips. I don't think he was ever on the
shout out Jalen Phillips' agent.
Yeah, big pitch. I don't ever think that he was on the really a deal for the Chiefs. I know his name was thrown out there a little bit, but I don't really think that he was really big there. But I want to talk about Kenneth Walker and the deal that the Chiefs got for Kenneth Walker, because we talked about it a lot. BJ, I know you and I talked about it. It's like, okay, ETN is probably like the cost effective, the best bang for your buck, right? And I know that sometimes is a negative connotation, but as a white guy who loves shopping at thrift stores, I love a good bang for your buck, you know? And Travis Etienne was talked about that a lot as the bang for your buck. Kenneth Walker, I think, is a better football player than Travis Etienne, and they think they got him at a better number than I anticipated getting Kenneth Walker at.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be for more money.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out Ricky.
Yeah, honestly,
Ricky for coming back. So dropping daggers. What's happening now? So the bigger question is, are we still going to record a Jeremiah Love to the Chiefs at 9 video at 6:00 tonight, Todd?
Yeah, but probably not. So again,
is there any scenario that it would make sense?
Oh,
yeah,
no. Which it is a big bummer.
I should have done my video first. That's on me.
I think Jeremiah Love is going at pick 4 to the Titans is where I think Jeremiah Love's going, because he's that good of a football player. I don't think he was ever going to be there. I just said, whoa, because the Colts are trading Michael Pittman to the Steelers. So Michael Pittman is going to be traded. You can get him off the books after giving Alec Pierce just a ridiculous amount of money. Did you see that contract?
No.
Oh,
Alec Pierce?
Oh, yeah, you'll love this one. 4-year, $114 million for Alec Pierce.
I like Chris Ballard, so I'm not going to comment.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a choice. Chris Ballard is making some choices. It does.
I don't know the market. I don't know what's available. So sometimes you get to be the player that benefits from being the free agent at the right time.
And
Sam Bradford made an entire career of it.
I do think that might be what's happening here with Alec Pierce, because the other good wide receivers like Romeo Doubs or Jawan Jennings, like those are your other free agent wide receivers. He becomes like the highest paid free agent wide receiver like ever.
So I don't give Stephon Diggs like a little tiny contract compared to giving Alec Pierce $100 million.
Crazy. It is crazy.
All
right, let's take a break. We got somebody in the waiting room waiting to join us, but let's take a quick one here. Let's take a full. We'll take a full, not a 30. Let's take a full. We'll be back right after this. Chiefs.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
It's the KCSN Breaking News Team. Thank you all for joining us. Kenneth Walker is the Kansas City Chiefs, and Joshua Brisco is on the Breaking News Team. Josh, first impressions, Kenneth Walker is a member of the Chiefs for 3 years, $43.05 million, with a deal worth up to $45 million, 28.7 guaranteed.
A tiny bit surprised with all of the details. We've talked quite a bit, obviously, not just since the season ended, but throughout most of last season about like how will the Chiefs eventually fix this running back spot. And look, I think if your options are to either give that deal to Kenneth Walker or give that deal to Breece Hall after trading a third-round pick for him half a season prior, if your option is Jeremiah Love at number 9, which is, of course, no guarantee at all, and I think the wind's blowing right now would indicate that he wasn't going to be there for the Chiefs at 9. I completely understand how the Chiefs just say, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take the best available running back. We're going to pay him a lot of money, and we're going to stop talking about running back for the next couple of months. I mean, they'll probably draft someone in day 3. I think I haven't. If I've missed any news, I apologize. I just saw what Jalen Phillips got a second ago. My hair is on fire. Also the Kansas City Rams. You guys may have already mentioned that as well. Just this is a news day. This is what we were built for. All that to say, I'm a little bit sticker shocked. Not that it's a totally surprising point for Walker to get. You hit free agency and you pay a premium. So the Chiefs are paying a premium to end this running back conversation. And if Kenneth Gainwell is in the mix later this week, then God bless him. You can come on in and we'll keep working through this running back room. But right now, the Chiefs did have like one silver bullet to fire at the running back position. They just said, no, just give us the best guy available, and we're not going to go through all of these issues we had last year, from the explosive play front, where Kenneth Walker obviously thrives and the Chiefs have really struggled in these last couple of years. Now, if they need to, they could go in the next year, at least in my opinion. They could go into next year with Kenneth Walker, Kareem Hunt, and Brashard Smith, and that would be a plan. Like, Kareem Hunt can still do some of those third down things. He's still a short yardage machine. I'd like to see Brashard Smith take another step that way, but Kenneth Walker is solving huge issues when you're obviously not nickel and diming that position anymore. Lots of nickels and lots of dimes to Kenneth Walker to make that happen, but I understand why they did it.
Here's Tucker. I'll give one thing, because I know we have another guest who's going to jump in here. I'll give my final take and then be on my way. And you touched on it there, Josh, that it was probably the last week, at least for me. Other people may have been before that. that I came to the realization that there's no scenario in which the Chiefs can end up with Jeremiah Love that in a scenario that makes sense. That means that they didn't sign somebody in free agency that's big enough to not need him. So how excited are you at really fixing the running back position? Then even if you are, how much are you putting on the fact that he's going to be available at 9 without trading up? And then you're losing the ability, like you're losing me at trading up to make sure you get him. So I just didn't think there was a scenario in which it made sense as much as I think it would be fun. That being said, Kenneth Walker is your next best option. He is the next best option besides Jeremiah Love on a rookie deal. This was the best thing that the Chiefs could have done to help Patrick Mahomes, especially early in the season when you don't know how he's physically going to be. They can kind of focus on the running game during the offseason, getting Kenneth Walker acclimated while Patrick Mahomes isn't taking reps in OTAs. And so there's an offensive identity and things that they can work on, which I love. But you bring on the next guy because I know he'll have some takes. I'm really excited to see what the next guy is going to have to say about this, especially with all his studying of the Chiefs running game and Eric Bieniemy coming back.
Well, look, Steven says you got to stay on until we get an Octo box. We're trying to set a record for as many people we can have on the StreamYard at one time.
Right.
Matty Lane is helping us try to set that record. Matty, thoughts, feelings, desires, wishes, needs, anything you're feeling about Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, well, no sleeves. We don't need sleeves. Sleeves are optional, Josh. Oh boy, yeah. What a signing. What a fun way to kick off free agency if you're the Chiefs, right? Like you signed the Super Bowl MVP to come fill your biggest weakness, right? Like just like stepping back and looking at it from that perspective, you signed the guy that was the best football player in the Super Bowl to come fill what had been your team's biggest needs. Like from that aspect right away, that's pretty awesome. Right? Like that's a pretty cool thing to start off free agency with. And then you start looking around like, hey, Kenneth Walker is an explosive running back. Exactly what Brett Veach and Andy Reid and everybody have got up and talked about all off season about what they've been missing. So it's easy to like the move, right? Like I think let's be real. It was Kenneth Walker or Travis Etienne for just about every Chiefs fan out there. And I think at the end of the day, we knew they were going to have to pay one of those guys a lot of money. And it ended up being Kenneth Walker. And, you could flip a coin and whatever side it landed on, that's which one of those two running backs a Chiefs fan preferred. So good signing, good way to start. I will say, though, I don't know how much you guys talked about before I got here. I'm a little surprised the Chiefs went up as high and they did in the cash for a running back. I was a little surprised to see how much it came in at, because I definitely thought they'd draw a harder line in the sand at some point in time.
I was surprised that the number was actually lower for Kenneth Walker than I thought. I thought the number for Kenneth Walker would have been higher than that. But I understand your perspective of the Chiefs going up to that number. I know there was a report from Jonathan Jones, right? I think it was a CBS who said they wanted to spend $8 million APY there. I don't think that was ever really going to happen, because if you looked at like all of the running back options, you're like, who are you getting for $8 million APY?
They could like to.
Right. Yeah. I would like to have $1 million straight in my bank account when I wake up. Like there's a lot of things that like I would like to have happen, but I was actually somewhat like, kind of shocked with how lower that number was. I was expecting him to get like 16 way up and like maybe even close to 20 million when it came for Kenneth Walker. But yeah, I mean, a dynamic football player for sure.
Saw a comment about Ian Rappaport tweeting loyalty wins over money regarding Travis Kelce. Is this whole thing, Josh, you like reading between the lines, is this whole thing set up by his agent so he could say he took less money to come back to Kansas City as another reason that Chiefs fans needed to love Travis Kelce, as if he was never playing for anyone else? It's embarrassing to think that he was going to not play with Patrick Mahomes in his career.
I was surprised that got as much good faith engagement as it did, because it seemed crazy. Now there really could have been a little bit of like, hey, this is the face of the position, a guy who obviously like is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, greatest head of all time, has accomplished everything in the world. Like he probably didn't want to come in and take a $6 million deal and then, set back the tight end market for the rest of his peers that way. So maybe there was a little bit of like, listen, man, I don't care how you make it work on the salary cap. I need to make a respectable amount of cash for being a top 5 tight end, which he still was last year. So there could have been a little bit of true negotiating. There was a report like half an hour ago that he's still available. I would be absolutely flabbergasted, and I was again pretty surprised that we all went, oh, wow, no, he could be a Panther next year. Imagine Travis Kelce in the NFC South. If you could only imagine Travis Kelce either with the one team he's been with his entire career, the quarterback that he would come back with, any team in the NFC South, the only case I think you could make would be that he has like a LeBron moment of like, you know what? Didn't work out at the end of Kansas City. I'm going to go home for 1 year. And if you thought he was going to go play with the Browns in 2026, the stars did not align for Travis Kelce that way. So no, I can't believe as much oxygen got spilt as it did in the last 12 hours on that front.
See, at least for like LeBron, there's like a logical, like with Cleveland, it's like, okay, they're kind of like a title contender. Like Cleveland's a decent football team. They're not a basketball team.
When
they're not
LeBron can make you that.
Yes, but they're not. Cleveland's not Travis Kelce away from making a Super Bowl. Sorry to Travis Kelce, I don't want to insult him, but they're not Travis Kelce away. It's a huge bummer. But we haven't gotten like a number on that either. By the way,
it's going to be fun just looking at the schedule because the Chiefs travel to Seattle to play the defending Super Bowl champions with the defending.
Will
MVP.
they make that week 1 now?
I hope not, because Carter and I are going. I don't want him to miss like half a week of school to go to that game. But he's picked Seattle 3 years ago. So as soon as they were going, we were going to Seattle. Now it's just going to be a lot more fun. The game's going to be more expensive now because they won the Super Bowl, not because
I know this isn't Kenneth Walker or Seahawks related, but my face has been stuck in a grimace since I saw that the Dolphins are signing Malik Willis.
Yeah.
You just paid $100 million to make your quarterback go away.
Yeah.
Just tank. Just be bad.
Well, here's the thing. They will. With Malik Willis.
You could do that without giving
Be bad and cheap.
$1 million.
Be bad cheaply. Tucker, an excellent point. An
Chase Daniel can come out of retirement.
Yes.
I did just see Jets are signing Bengals pass rusher Joseph Osai. So another edge rusher off the market for the Chiefs as we saw Jalen Phillips go to the Panthers. Somebody went to the Patriots, right? Am I dreaming that? I've seen so many contracts come across my Draymond Jones.
Minka got traded.
Yeah, I mean
Michael Pittman got traded.
That happened.
Michael Pittman got traded to the Steelers. Did you guys? I don't know what you guys touched on before I jumped in here, but Michael Pittman gets traded. I also saw Isaiah Likely to the Giants for 3 years, $40 million, which makes him, I think, the third highest paid tight end in the NFL for a guy that has not started. It's a lot.
That's a great point.
Money be flying in this free agency period.
Josh, do we get your take on Jaylen Watson?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Chiefs ended up letting him go after trading away Trent McDuffie. When we talked about that with the McDuffie trade, it felt to me like it was partially about what Trent McDuffie was asking for financially and what he's now getting in Los Angeles, and very much deservedly so. I'm not surprised they didn't end up trying to make Watson be the guy to fill that hole because he's just a different type of football player. It seems like Christian Fulton is on the roster and good to go in that regard. And we'll see what that actually looks like this year, but he's still on the cap. And then obviously you're betting on huge things from Noah Williams and by extension, huge things from Dave Merritt and Steve Spagnuolo. So it seemed logical to me that they were just going to fully roll the dice at the cornerback position and just say, hey, we've got our backup options. We'll draft somebody else south of the Mason-Dixon line in the 5th round this year, and he'll be starting by week 12. And that's just going to be the chain that we keep running here for this secondary. So I do think it made sense to just part ways from both of those guys. Fascinating that they're reuniting with the Rams, though. Like, from the Rams' perspective, it's more surprising and more interesting to me than it is from the Chiefs' perspective, because Los Angeles is just saying, we are not going to let that be a problem again, and the Chiefs are saying, we think it's not going to be a problem for us anyway. Curious, of course, if we get Brian Cook news anytime soon, because I could see that being the way they hedge their bet. Just the way that Spag started talking about Brian Cook in the second half of last year, and the way he talked about Jaden Hicks last year, makes me think that they might not want to go totally nuclear in the secondary, but good for Jaylen Watson, great for Trent McDuffie, truly like very happy for both of those guys, very well-deserved paydays. And for Watson, of a very end of the draft rookie contract, now getting his kind of generational payday this way. Happy for him, bummed for the Chiefs, but I think it makes sense to how they got there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for my takeaway from that was, one, it is a very reasonable contract for Jaylen Watson. I'm not saying it's like a super good deal, but I don't think he got overpaid either. Just a very reasonable contract. Boy, that puts a lot of pressure on the Chiefs to sign Brian Cook, though. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I feel great about Noel Williams, Christian Fulton, Christian Roland Wallace, Shamari Connor, and Jaden Hicks leading my secondary. Like, not just players, but like the leader. Like, who is getting everybody on the same page? Who is the leader of that unit? They've lost everybody that you would even remotely factor into that role to free agency over the last couple of years with Justin Reed, Trent McDuffie, Brian Cook, Jaylen Watson. So I feel like this puts a lot of pressure on them to bring somebody back that has like a real familiarity with the system that they're running, not just developing new guys, but in terms of like somebody that knows what they're doing and isn't a brand new to the NFL rookie. Like, I think that's what, and now we got, and Caleb Downs, like that doesn't accomplish the goal for me. That doesn't do it at all. That's not somebody with any NFL experience that you're asking to come lead an entire room of NFL players if you don't bring back a Brian Cook, right? So it puts a lot of pressure on them to bring back Brian Cook. And if we're looking at him as the top of the safety market after what we saw Cam Curl get paid, that's the same price you're paying for Jaylen Watson practically as a safety. And that seems like a lot.
The numbers there, just to back up Matty here, the 3 years, $51 million with $34 million guaranteed for Jaylen Watson. That's 2 for $30 with the team option in year 3. Very reasonable.
I think the way that the Chiefs end up approaching free agency by the time we get to the draft, I think Caleb Downs is going to be a more, not to say obvious, but a more likely scenario, because they're going to address these issues with veterans the way they do it every single time, where they're going to have a roster that they could start week 1 before the draft. And so when you get to that point, it's like, okay, who's the best player available? Who kind of spikes that? And it's Keldrick Falk or Caleb Downs.
No
Offensive
comment.
player, please.
Yeah, no comment.
Don't get me started on Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, big Jordan Tyson hater in here. You can go watch what BJ and I think of 4 prospects, and there will be more videos coming of BJ and I breaking down some of the top prospects of just being like, hey, look at this guy move. It's fun.
Hey, let us know in the comments. Should we still do a video on Jeremiah Love, or should we not at this point? Because it was slated for 6 p.m.
It was.
You gotta run it. You gotta run it now.
Well, I can't do Carnell Tate because the highlights suck. The videos that we get that we're putting out, they're not necessarily highlight films. We just get like we got like 2 games from Carnell Tate, and it wasn't a touchdown. Like, all the highlights you see on other videos aren't the ones that we have access to. We buy the licensing rights for a certain number of plays. It just so happens that the ones we got for Carnell Tate aren't super exciting.
Could you also maybe get the rights to some like old school Transformers animated series kind of clips, or some like, I feel like other things that kind of inspire the energy that Carnell Tate brings for me personally? Maybe some old Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I'm in on Tate. Makai Lemon's really moving up for me, Matty. I should have spent more time with you talking about him in Indy, but I'm out on Jordan Tyson.
And listen, I'm lower on Tyson than I think his biggest like believers are, right? I think there's some people that really love Jordan Tyson, and I think there's some fun movement to his game. But the more I think about it and how it translates to the NFL, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a little less sold on him than I am Lemon or Tate right now. So I'm glad to hear somebody else coming around on this as well.
I've been hurt too many times by guys just like him.
Yes.
Yeah. A guy not just like him. Can I get your guys' thoughts on the Michael Pittman deal here, since we have numbers on it? It's apparently a late round pick swap from Indy to Pittsburgh, and that the Steelers are signing Pittman to a 3-year, $59 million deal. I don't know if that's adding on. It says new. Well, no, it just says 3-year, $59 million deal. So I don't know if that is tearing up the last year that Pittman had remaining, but a little less than $20 million. I wanted Pittman to just get straight up cut and see if that added any splashes to the free agency shuffle. But a late round pick swap, it doesn't sound like it took a lot for Pittsburgh to get Michael Pittman. I don't know. I've been tempted by him since the early weeks of April 2020, and it's just sort of been ships passing in the night since then for me.
For me, like with Michael Pittman, the back injury scares me. It really does. Like, I know it kept him out a lot of games, and for his game in particular, you're like, hey, go work short to intermediate around the biggest, fastest guys on the field where you're constantly getting hit with the back injury. That gives me a little bit of pause locking into, like they say, essentially $20 million per year. And I don't know, what the guarantees or anything are on that, but that just was a little bit much for me for him at his age with the injury concerns. So the trade value was fine. I just don't know about paying him with the injury history that much if I were the one in control. So I was kind of happy to see that go to another team and not the Chiefs. And I think the fact that the Colts traded him within the conference to the Steelers, it's not a direct rival, but like that's a team they're going to be competing with, kind of lets you know they're like not that worried about him most likely, or other teams around the NFL weren't that interested.
Or they just had to find $100 billion to give to Alec Pierce, and wherever that money comes from is not their problem.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Another defensive lineman off the market, by the way. Kingsland Enagbari is now signing with the Jets for $10 million. So, D-line name that was, I think, tossed around for the Chiefs a little bit. He is off the market as well. So
it's getting kind of thin on the D-line. Honestly, the defensive end positions, I mean, not like super thin, but like there's been a fair amount of guys that I think were towards the top of a lot of people's wish lists that have gone off the board. With you got Enagbare, Osai's gone off the board, Jalen Phillips, Draymond Jones. Like obviously you still have Boy Mafe, Adafe Owe. Like there's still guys out there available. Don't get me wrong. It's just we've had a fair amount of defensive ends come off the board here early on in this legal tampering period.
Did you say it was a 1 year for 10?
For Kingsley?
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe that's what I saw.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm in the middle of asking
because he's one of the younger edge rushers in this free agency class. And it felt, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I don't know why he ended up just with a 1 year deal. Maybe it's a reset the timeline and try this again next offseason. But that's a little bit of an interesting nugget. I think it's that.
I think he kind of got pushed down that Packers rotation when they traded for Micah Parsons, so he wasn't coming off his best year, and he probably thinks there's a little bit more juice in there going forward. It's like I think now 10's a pretty not hefty, but that's a pretty nice chunk of change for a 1 year prove it deal for a guy that's been a deep rotational defensive end.
Very.
Yeah, that's very true.
Fascinating. Just kind of interesting to see where the market goes.
Backup quarterback market. The Titans have agreed to terms on a 2 year deal with Mitch Trubisky.
Ooh.
And Demario Davis is now signing with the Jets on a 2 year, $22 million deal. He's a linebacker with $15 million fully guaranteed. Year 15 for Demario Davis.
Jets are unloading it right now. They're not spending a lot of money, but they're signing a lot of guys.
They're signing a lot of,
Davis and Enagbare.
He will be, Davis will be 37 in this. He just turned 37. Sorry. So he'll be playing linebacker for the Jets next year, as they try to get Arch Manning, I would assume, is what they're going to try to do.
I could talk about the Dolphins paying $100 million to make Tua go away and then giving a whole bunch of money to Malik Willis for 2 straight hours.
It is certainly a choice. There was a lot of places that had Malik Willis as their top free agent available. So the Dolphins signed the top free agent available in the NFL right now.
With real money.
Yes,
they stink.
I don't think it's as wild as you seem to think. I think Malik Willis, if you were going to try to sign a free agent quarterback because you can't get one in this draft, I think you could do worse than Malik Willis. Now, yes, they paid someone to just kind of go away. But
yeah, I just would have. I would have. I mean, maybe Kyler Murray's already in Minnesota and we just don't know it yet. I just can't. Like, if you are a team as absolutely decrepit roster wise as the Dolphins right now, I'm just curious what their quarterback spending is going to be the next 2 years for maybe an average starter. Like, paying Malik Willis is fine. I just can't believe they're doing it the same day they're paying Tua $100 million to go away.
How much did they pay Malik Willis?
How much should they?
How much did they pay him?
I gotta pull it back up now.
It is 3 years, $67.5 million with 45 of it guaranteed.
$67 million.
20-ish per.
Yeah.
Not an inherently ludicrous contract. Ludicrous team building for me, just looking at the Dolphins needing approximately everything still. But, you got to have your quarterback for the rebuild, I guess.
I did hear hashtag rumblings at the combine that there was real smoke that he was going to be asking for $35 million a year. That his camp was trying to get up to 35. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
He settled in just above Justin Fields. Like that feels like a decent price actually for him based on what he showed. Now, when he played for Green Bay, it was always like in reserve or stepping in for one game. So you don't know what the entire game plan can look like. But like he played well for Green Bay when he did have to step in and play. So like I think the price seems reasonable, but I get your point, Josh, about how they're going about the entire process right now. I mean, that team is in a tough pickle right now.
Yeah, it just gets worse. Ow.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Hooper's going to be back with the Falcons. It's a tight end deal. 1 year, $3.25 million. Big deal for that there. I'm really curious to see what Travis Kelce's number ends up getting, by the way.
He's getting like $158,000 for every yard he passed for last year.
It's a great way
for
to
100.
I love
for
it.
422 yards. I was doing the math. I'm like, that ain't right. That actually is right. 422 yards he passed for last year. There's not a better job in the NFL than a backup quarterback who comes in a contract year and plays one game, big game, and plays well.
Yeah.
We should have Matt Castle on to talk about this.
Yeah. I
He had an entire
does it
season.
impact
He had a
your
season.
career?
He had a whole season.
He did.
What's old
Shout out
Matt
Bernard
Flynn?
Pollard.
What's he
Matt
up to?
Flynn.
Matt
What's
Flynn.
he up
Yeah.
to? He could answer this for us real well.
Well, the Chiefs still need a backup quarterback. Who do they have on the roster right now? Did they sign Shea Michelle to a futures deal? I don't think they had a. Oh
I think
no,
he's back in Buffalo.
you know who they
Where's
signed to the
Gardner?
futures deal? Gardner's a free agent right now. They still really could re-sign him. Gardner's agent did work a couple weeks ago. Remember when they just like put out he's like fine again?
Yeah, he's ahead of schedule. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm good. You can sign me. That was very funny. But I do think that they will need a backup quarterback. They who's the Saints guy that they signed to the futures deal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big
Jay
JK.
Hayner.
Yeah. I forgot he was on a
No
futures
more-
deal.
No
Problem
more
solved.
PD suspensions, and we're good.
Right. Yeah.
You guys know where
first-
Matt Flynn went to high school? Or excuse me, where he was born? And also went to high school.
No, I don't know where Matt Flynn was born or went to high school, but I would love to know.
Kenosha.
Syracuse.
Tyler, Texas.
Wow. White House, Texas alum.
No, he went to Robert E. Lee High School in Tyler.
Ooh.
I got no jokes. I got no. I am out on this one.
Sit on that one for a second.
I've got a press conference to get to. I will see y'all later.
All right. We'll see.
It's BJ starting the press conference about this breaking news team. He's like,
I'm
"All right, I know they're still live, but I need to go ahead and address the jokes they made as soon as I left the stream."
Yeah, that was. Kenneth Gainwell signing with the Bucks.
Oh,
You
really?
get a lot- I guess they're getting rid of Deshaun Tucker, and they're not bringing back Rashawn White. So I guess they needed that.
Yep, it's a 2-year, $14 million deal with 10 of it guaranteed. Deal done by Wynn Sports Group. Thank you for letting me know that, Jordan Schultz.
Literally, it might as well just be a screenshot with the contact at the top of it. Like, just...
Yeah. Interesting enough, do you guys know that Kenneth Gainwell was the Steelers team MVP last year?
Yes.
No.
Because I unfortunately watched that team play a couple football games when they supposedly mattered, and all they could do was throw the ball to Kenneth Gainwell, who made arguably the best catch of the season last year.
Yeah, no, he would have been a fun third down back option if they were going to try to do two signings, right? I would have been. Josh, I think you and I talked about this on Friday. Is I would have been very okay if they went Kenneth Walker and then, 2 years, $14 million for Kenneth Gainwell might be a touch like rich, especially after they just signed the deal that they just did with Kenneth Walker. I've been like, well, that's a lot of money to throw at that problem.
It's a lot of money for a couple of Kenneths.
Oh, wow. Maybe they couldn't have too many Kenneths in the kitchen, that's what they say.
That's good. I was going to say the Kenneths get Kennethier, but no, too many Kens in the kitchen is funnier for sure. No, I thought he would have been a fun fit because he has at least shown the ability to be the only functional receiving option in an NFL offense as a running back. Genuinely impressive to me. I thought he might just end up in Aaron Rodgers' pocket, assuming that he comes back for another awesome retirement tour with the very new and rejuvenated Pittsburgh Steelers that we all believe in. But no, I think that contract for Gainwell makes sense to me.
Sorry, I saw this tweet from Brees Hall. He just tweeted out, "Damn, we sure got a lot of money in Florida Park with all these contracts dude signing."
Oh, man.
He doesn't want to be there, and they're just keeping him on there.
He's being held hostage. Blink twice. He doesn't even have to blink. He can talk, and he's saying every time, I do not want to be here. Thank you for shouting out the Breaking News Team, Blazer. Thank you for all the
It
love
looks great, by the way, dude. It is
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you. Yeah, I just trying
Somebody
to go back
called
and
it your
forth.
righteous gemstones fit in the comments earlier, and I thought that was awesome.
I need to really fully dive into Righteous Gemstones because I think that I would really enjoy it, but I just haven't gotten to that point.
First season's great. That's all I've seen.
Yeah. There was one. Oh, Matty, I wanted to ask you a question that I saw brought up in the chat a little bit, but I think it's been buried a little bit, so I apologize. Sure. So there's some skeptics of the signing could be saying, hey, that's a lot of money for a running back that plays on first and second down and doesn't really catch the ball and doesn't really pass protect, right?
Yeah, fair.
How do you feel about how he fits in with this offense if he doesn't, play on first and second down? If they have to sign Kareem Hunt, right, to play third downs.
I mean, I think they have to do that regardless. Like, Brashard Smith can't pass protect right now, and Kenneth Walker, the Seattle Seahawks had Kenneth Walker, and they got multiple guys over the years to play on third downs instead of him, right? Like, I just would be very clear. Like, we don't have to sugarcoat that. They did not want to play Kenneth Walker on third downs. Now, he's a good athlete. He catches the ball fine, so maybe there's some untapped potential as a receiver that you'll see in a different style of offense. But in terms of pass protection, it's pretty poor. So yeah, you will need somebody, a Kareem Hunt, or drafting somebody, or signing another running back to come in and be your third down back, like your, every third down type of back. And again, this goes back to my price. I was kind of surprised that the price point the Chiefs went as high as they did. And again, I'm kind of surprised that Kenneth Walker got this much. Like, I think he's like a fringe top 10 running back. So this seems pretty lofty for him. But now that we've seen more money come in on guys like Isaiah Likely or even Kenneth Gainwell, who's a good player, but like seeing what people got, it starts to make a little bit more sense. So yeah, I have mixed feelings about Kenneth Walker and the Chiefs. I think you do need another running back to play significant snaps with him. I do not think he's a 3-down back, and I think Seattle's kind of showed you that. But he's very good on those early downs. He's very dynamic. The Chiefs' outside zone system, I don't think fits him great, but under Eric Bieniemy, they ran a lot more inside zone. It's not that he's bad on outside zone. He's just very inconsistent with what he does. He kind of runs by his own rules. And so did Isaiah Pacheco. It didn't work for Pacheco, and it works for Kenneth Gainwell. Or not Kenneth Gainwell, but Kenneth Walker. I want to be very clear. They're not the same. They just both kind of freelance and do their own thing a lot. And so I was a little skeptical of how that would work. But I will caveat that by saying the last time Bieniemy was in Kansas City, they started to run a lot more inside zone. And that's where I think Kenneth Walker really shines. When you can make his hips stay square to the line of scrimmage and get moving forward into traffic, he runs with better patience there, and he kind of is forced to stay on track a little bit better. It's his outside zone runs where he is just a wild horse. He will stop and go the complete opposite direction just for the love of the game. There's no real reason. Just for the love of the game, he'll stop and turn and run outside zone left. He'll run off the right tackle just because. And that scares me a little. But I wonder if you see a little adjustment to the Chiefs' run game that maximizes his ability to get downhill a little bit better. And then it's just about finding who's going to play on third downs instead of him and Brashard Smith. So again, I have mixed feelings about Kenneth Walker. I get how the Chiefs arrived here. Watching his best plays is so much fun. It's just the low light film is equally scary sometimes. And knowing when you have to get a Kareem Hunt or somebody else to pass protect, that is like, okay, now how did we get to $14 million and we know we have to pair you with somebody else that needs significant snaps?
I think it's a worthy question to ask when it comes to Kenneth Walker, right? You're not going to find a 100% clean, perfect player also in free agency. Usually those players like stay with the teams. Usually they re-sign with the teams that have them. I will bring up this point here from NFL Plus. The Chiefs have averaged just 105.9 rush yards per game and 3.7 yards per carry since 2024. That is 27th in the NFL and 31st respectively. Walker recorded 1,309 scrimmage yards and 5.2 yards per touch in 2025. Those are both career highs. So another offensive weapon for Patrick Mahomes, who is coming off of obviously that torn ACL, that torn knee injury. As I think we expect him to be back for week 1. There's a report there from Jay Glazer that he'll be back before week 1. He'll actually be playing in preseason games, I think is what Jay Glazer was saying. I'm being hyperbolic there. That's not actually what Jay Glazer said, but he did say he'd be back before week 1. Alex Anzalone's now signing with the Bucs on a 2-year, $17 million deal. What does Leo Chenal get? You're muted, Matty.
I am.
It's okay.
Less than that. It would be my guess. I think it's hard because Anzalone's a little bit older, but I think he's kind of proven that he can play 3 downs as a stretch, but like 2.5 downs. Whereas Leo Chenal is very much like a chess piece in the way draft people use chess piece. Cause like realistically, like the idea of, I think chess pieces, they can be used anywhere. And that's not Leo Chenal. Like it's not, he can't do everything. He just does a different stuff. So I don't know.
He's a bishop.
I think
he's a chess piece, but he's a bishop.
Yeah. Or like the knight, right? Like you can only move in a really awkward position. Yeah. You can only do certain things, but you're the only one that can do those certain things.
You can fly over the top. Yeah.
Right. But no, so I think Leo Chenal gets paid. I just don't know what it's going to be because like it has to be a team that has a very clear path to use him and knows what they want to do. AKA it's going to be the Buffalo Bills and his old Wisconsin defensive coordinator would be my guess. But yeah, I think it's less than what Anzalone got because I think Anzalone can step in and be, like I said, a 2.5 down linebacker for you. And I don't think Chenal can do that right now.
Matty, did you write running backs for the guide in 22?
22, no.
I didn't think. I think that you recently got running backs, so this has only been the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The Ken Swanson just tweeted out the write-up from the 2022 KCSN draft guide you can
Smart.
about Kenneth Walker. Great marketing move on his end. The marketing guy that we know. Also, you can buy every draft guide ever for only $3 as well.
Soon it'll be at Costco's if Kent has anything to do with it.
It will be at Costco's very soon. I will say, if you read the fit section, if you'll allow me to read it here, there's a good chance that Walker is the first running back off the board. In a class without a ton of top shelf backs, the market for him will develop early, and we will see the Chiefs likely out of acquiring his services. His skill as a runner is tantalizing, but his lack of polish and promise in the passing game, both run and pass, are major red flags for a team that passes heavily and uses their backs in that area of the game frequently. Player comp Cam Akers, team fit low.
Ooh. He probably should have kept that one in the holster.
Yeah, I don't think you should have teed that one out. Yeah, come on, man.
Should have just cropped out the bottom.
Yeah.
If he was really committed to marketing, he would have cut it off under strengths. That would have just been just name and strengths.
Even the team fit would have been okay though, because like it was like, hey, he's not consistent as a runner, but the Chiefs won't be able to get a chance to draft him, right? The idea was like, hey, he's going to go before the Chiefs can draft him, which was fine and true in the draft class. I think it's funny though, like if you look at who he is as a player, that was pretty spot on.
Pretty good.
I don't remember who wrote that. It's like, even if you go watch the Super Bowl, even his big runs in the Super Bowl, half of them, he just did whatever he wanted. It was not the play. He was just like, I'm going to run this direction and see if I can outrun somebody. And he did. And like, that's 100% a positive and a negative. I don't say that just as a negative. Like he can do it. So that's cool. But yeah, they were spot on with that until they hit the team fit low.
Yeah.
But even that holds.
You can text me.
I really don't remember. I honestly don't remember because sometimes we had positions that had like multiple people were writing positions. So that could have even been a year where multiple people were writing the same ones.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I have an idea. I think I have an idea of who wrote it, but then the typo of the pass and run game it threw me off because I don't think who. Never mind.
It's M dash. If that gives you any indication, who writes the M dashes?
Right, but the M dash. So I write them, but I didn't write that one. And then the fact that it like repeated the pass game part again,
passing game running
throws me a curveball. Yeah. Anyhow, sorry.
That won't happen in this year's new KCSN draft guide, written exclusively by Kent using ChatGPT. You can pre-order it now. That's not true.
bit.ly/Swanson sucks.
Correct. That'll get you right there to pre-order this year's draft guide.
That is the
written by real human beings.
Well, guys, I appreciate you guys joining me for the breaking news team. I think we should end this one, so just in case the Chiefs do anything else, we can start another one. And I've got to call the maintenance guy back because my shower won't shut off and I don't have water in my house right now. So I do appreciate
Chuck, I have some fun news for you, actually. I think you'll enjoy this bit of information. Okay,
go ahead.
According to Grant Cohn, the 49ers are open to trading Trent Williams, and the Chiefs are a team that has emerged as interested. But this is straight from the Cohn zone, so I just thought that you might enjoy that.
I mean, if it's coming from the Cohn zone, then it's got to be verified. I mean, it is certified banger information.
Now, the video's not from inside the stadium, so do with that what you will right now.
It's in John Lynch's house? What? How did he get in there?
Kenneth
on his
Walker is
back.
also in Kansas City, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you seen the picture of him and Clark Hunt? He posted it on his Instagram story. Just a couple dogs hanging out.
Really?
Yeah, it's him and Clark Hunt.
It is. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's from the area, right? Like, there's a chance that he still had family back there. So it's not
maybe.
like, he was already in Kansas City because, like, the only way he could be there was after noon today because he had no idea he was signing in Kansas City until noon today.
11. He could have gotten on a
Probably
flight at
God's
11
time.
Central.
Well, if it's true, and if he came from actually like the Pacific time zone and he flew out here, like he's time traveling, so like he maybe had to.
Yeah, he picked up some hours.
Yeah, maybe he had to
Got on
leave
the plane
early.
at 8.
Yeah, he's actually
He
from
flew to-
Arlington, Tennessee, so I don't know. I think
he
you're
went to
thinking
high
of Brees
school
Hall.
in the KC area. Am I not?
I think you might be thinking Brees
maybe.
Hall. Brees Hall was from Wichita.
Okay, so maybe that's it. Why did I think Kenneth Walker was from the area?
This looks like an old picture. This is at night. There are other people around here. I think
last
this
night,
looks like
actually.
Kenneth Walker might have been.
Yeah, why did I think he was around KC? I don't know what I was thinking.
I think you were thinking of
This-
Brees Hall, and that's okay.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah,
I
Brees
think
Hall's
of
Wichita.
too. Yeah.
No, I know Brees Hall was, but I thought Kenneth Walker was too for some reason.
Rashad
I
White.
was really
Remember
excited.
remember during a live show when it was the lab, wasn't it? When Kent said who was Rashad White went to Circle High School
Circle High School. Big shout out for
instead of
Circle High School.
Center. He said Circle instead of Center.
Also, I'm pretty sure that picture's old.
That's what I'm saying. And Eric in the chat says he's also bald now. Walker,
Yeah.
not Clark Hunt. So yeah, I do think that's an old picture of
Great call.
Kenneth Walker and Clark Hunt. I will say one of my first red flags, and this can be my last take of the breaking news team here, but I have a red flag on Kenneth Walker that I think we need to just go ahead and confront.
Okay.
The previous Instagram story post from Kenneth Walker is him doing a Zaxby's ad holding up a Kenneth Walker jersey, like a Zaxby's jersey.
That's kind of cool.
Zaxby's overrated. Zaxby's is third tier fried chicken chain. Slim's is better.
Okay.
Cane's is better. Zaxby's is a pretender in my book. Popeyes is
as-
better, obviously.
I don't eat a lot of fried chicken fast food restaurants. I've had Zaxby's before. I didn't know it was rated. I just thought it was there. I didn't know that it had I didn't know people cared.
Yeah, they shouldn't. I think you're on the right track here. But think about how Nick Springer feels about Cane's. People feel that way about Zaxby's, and I don't think Zaxby's deserves it.
Now it's just Bojangles is all that matters where I live. So
Oh,
See, we don't get Bojangles up here. That's
I think
fair.
there's
That's
one
a
coming.
good.
I think there's one coming.
I'm wrapped. I know
Yeah.
we're trying to wrap this up. Kobe Bryant, safety, signs with the Bears. That would have been a nice signing if you're not getting Brian Cook. Amik Robertson signs with the Washington Commanders. That would have been a nice little fun nickel corner to sign with the Titans signed Daniel Bellinger. If you wanted a blocking tight end to sign with Travis Kelce, just a few little contracts that I saw just pop up.
No, thank you for refreshing us there. Before we leave, next signing for the Chiefs. Who are we hopping on next to talk about? We're gonna go in. Josh starts first.
Defensive end, one remaining. Whoever's left available. There will be a defensive lineman signed today, and if not, we'll be
Mike
live
Kenneth.
at around 2:00 for me to talk more about just Kenneth Walker and Travis Kelce. Probably, I'll talk again about somebody regardless. But I think we're gonna get a D lineman today.
I wish you would have said clockwise and waited for us to try to figure out what the order was going to
yeah.
be. Travis Kelce, does that count? Are we going to go live for Travis Kelce re-signing? What's the plan there?
Probably. I think we probably will once because it was it was so weird how it was reported today. It's oh yeah, he's coming back. And then no contract announcement at all. But it was very, very
Diana
odd.
Rossini again said that he was open after the reports of him coming back was happening.
She
Somebody's
said-
texting somebody.
Well, then he said that he was going to sign a contract that could be up to 15 or could the way she worded it was very confusing. And initially everybody read it as up to she signed for up to 15. And that was not what she said at all. It was weird. So yeah, I would put my money on Travis Kelce, but I'm with Josh. I think they get a defensive lineman sometime today, but I honestly feel like it might be more for the Chiefs. They might not get it out there until later in the evening. It might not be till the evening. They like to give their signings a little bit of space to breathe. They like people to have their shine.
That's true.
They don't usually stack the stuff on top of each other.
Yes, except when it's Elijah Mitchell and Jaylen Moore. They like to
Well-
throw those right on top of each other.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Thank you everybody for watching this episode of the Breaking News Team. How much?
Kobe Bryant got 3 for $40. So, hey, Brian Cook going to be kind of expensive.
Yeah. Brian Cook is going to be. I'm going to be interested to see, especially with the Leo Chanel deal as well. He's probably going to hover around 10 million, which is a lot of money for Leo. But shout out to him. All of the Chiefs defenders, it sounds like, are going to get overpaid. Not that I think that
True.
Jaylen Watson is that's overpaying, but I think that's more money than the Chiefs wanted to pay, right? Like I think that the Chiefs' own in-house free agents are pricing themselves out of the Chiefs market, and we'll see how those go happen as we roll on here. So Josh mentioned it. We're gonna go 2 at 2 p.m. We're gonna give us himself a little bit of a breathing room at 2 here. Josh is going to have everything else. We'll have the KC Laboratory tonight at 8 p.m. and we'll be live there. Kent should be back, I think.
He's got time to tweet about the draft guide.
That's a great point.
Put him back on a boat.
How many text messages do you think I have right now on my phone? I want you guys to guess last little event.
A good
132.
Strong guess.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's higher.
Is it really take the over? Oh,
I got 109, so I'm not as cool as Tuck.
186 is what I have right now on my phone. So I'm going to go 10 to that. I'm going to go see if I can get a maintenance guy into my house to fix the water issue. And I'm sure the Chiefs will make a deal while I'm occupied. So thank you guys all for watching, listening, and subscribing to the KCSN Breaking News Team. We will be live if anything else happens. Josh will be live at 2. Matty will be live at 8 p.m. We'll talk to you guys later.
Sure. Get them running backs.